with 5D, okay, we're using this equation and this equation. Okay, so we've got distributive law 1, which says, sorry, everything outside the brackets is multiplied that way inside. Okay, then you have what was distributive law 2, what's FOIL. If you use that process, you might use the whole multiplication one. And then 3 was the difference of two squares, wasn't it? Where you might have had a plus b all squared, and that was the same as, a take b. You with me there? And all that was because these were the same, you square it, and because these were the same, you square that, and you subtract it there. Okay, so you got your 3 distributive laws so far. Okay. And this is your 4th, the perfect squares. They're perfect squares because if you were to expand this out, they're exactly the same. Whereas this one, they're different just with the negative. Okay. If they're like that, you could apply distributive law 2, couldn't you? You could apply FOIL. But all this is saying is that this is a shorter way of going about it. Okay, so you square the a, or the first coefficient, you add 2 multiplied by the first coefficient multiplied by the second coefficient, and just remember that the sign goes with it. All right, it's just a rule. You never questioned terribly much, did you, when I said Pythagoras' theorem is that? Okay, so in a way, you could roll with this and say, well, it's always plus 2 times a times b. And then you are squaring the last one. Okay, square the first, add 2 times both of them, add the last one squared. All right, that's added when this is an addition. The only change, Ash, is when this is a subtraction. Okay, still a perfect square. This one's saying that. And if you were to go onto YouTube, you'd realise, you would see that I did it, solve these FOIL, and they come out to be the same answer. It's just that this way and this way is a whole lot quicker. All right. So the only thing that changes here is you still square the first one and the last by adding it, but this one becomes a subtraction. Okay? So it's just following this law, looking for whether it's an addition, looking for whether it's a subtraction, and you should be saying, okay, the moment I've got this, I apply my distributive law. It's the first one squared, take or plus 2ab, plus the last one squared. Is that okay? I'll leave you with that, just to try a couple. Okay, now I'll go relatively quickly. If I'm going too fast, you pull me up. Okay. So we know that we have a multiply in there. Okay, so everything in this bracket has to be multiplied by everything in this bracket. All right. So the x has to be multiplied by the x squared, then multiplied by the plus x. Remember, the sign goes with the number. And x multiplied by the plus 1. Then we have to multiply the plus 2 by the x squared, the plus 2 by the plus x, and the plus 2 by the plus 1. Alright, everything. So if we were to try and solve that, we started here, x multiplied, remember multiplied by x squared. Yeah, good. Next one. And it's a positive, isn't it? Good. Excellent. Excellent. And then it's a simple case, so it's simplifying, collecting like terms. So you look along, there's only 1x cubed, so that just comes straight down. Then we've got, let's cross it off if that helps. X squared plus 2x squared gives us 3x. Good. Plus 3x, I got that by positive x plus 2x, yep. Plus 2. Okay. We always put our cubes, then our squares, then our x's, and then just our constant numbers. It's in that order. Okay. Don't, you know, you could say that's right as well. Okay. It's just we like to do it with our highest power first, then go and gradually go down. Just watch out for your negative signs, you know, that here it's -1 times 3x squared, -1 times negative x, and -1 times positive 4. That'll be your challenge. Probably beyond that, just it's like reading a book. We're working from left to right. All right. Okay, so what we're saying is let's square this first number. On this occasion, it's this. So we're going to square that first. Just happens to be a coefficient. It happens to be. So we're going to square that there. And then our rule says we're going to add 2 times by whatever our first coefficient is. And our first one is x. There's a times in there, isn't there? Times our b, and our b is positive 2. Remember, the sign goes with a number. And then we're going to be adding the square of our last number, which is our 2. And then we're going to simplify that. We've got our x squared. And then, so we've done that. 2, positive 2, times by x times by 2. 2 times 2 is x. 4x. Yeah? 4 times x. It's a positive 4x. Would you agree with that? We've got positive 2 times by x times by 2. We do the signs first. Positive times a positive times a positive is a positive. We do our numbers next. 2 times 2 is 4. And then we do our letters. And then 2 squared is 4. Is that okay? Alright, so try and use that rule when there's an addition in there. So that's for all of these. When there's a subtraction in there, you still square that first one, but this time you take 2 times a times b plus b squared. So the only thing that changes is this. Beyond that, everything else is the same. That just changes. Is that okay? I'll leave you with that. Yep. Okay, so we use this 4 here. Okay, folks, head to recess. You got 15 to 20 minutes homework tonight. Holsty, I'll just do this answer and you can check it off, okay?
I just realised that I can get to my locker
I reckon you end up with that, mate.